Hello everyone, my name is Loko and welcome to some more Heroes of the Storm. Today I want to give you a quick overview of all of the abilities and talents that this new hero known by the name of Johanna has. And I'm gonna try and do it as quickly as I possibly can, just to give you an introduction for the hero, as well as like a thought process behind picking talents when you jump on the ladder or the quick match or whatever to give her a try. So, first off, very important to note, this is obviously the Crusader from Diablo 3, and naturally speaking, you can already assume she's gonna be a warrior that is gonna be tanking a lot of damage, and I think that is going to be the correct way to play her as well. There's different talent selections available. You can make her a reasonable damage dealer as well, but I think the majority of players will likely be better off playing her as someone that focuses on making sure that their team does not take as much damage. So here's the obvious attack animation. Important to note right off the bat, basic attack damage is not incredibly high. And you know, while Artist does allow me to nuke him down for a very long time right there, he is still not going down. Now, first important ability to note is actually the trait. This one is known as Iron Skin. It has two uses. First off, it gives me a shield, so I activated it right there, 20-second cooldown. It gives me a shield, but most importantly, I become unstoppable. And what that means is that I will basically not take any CC or anything of that sort for a couple of seconds, and it basically means that I can get out of trouble. I can make sure that my allies are shielded for the best of my abilities, and I basically will be able to become unstoppable, as you may have already guessed. Now, this will be able to get upgraded through talents a lot, and I think that's going to be one of the primary focuses when playing Johanna. First ability that we got is known by the name of Punish. Deal 58 damage, and obviously this increases the higher level we go, and slow enemies down by 60%, decaying over 2 seconds. And I think that's going to be majority of its use is going to be the slow, so basically I activated right there, and he is going to be slowed down for a little while. Very, very useful, and the damage is okay. The nice thing to know about it though is that it's a little arc. So not just one target, it's actually a whole bunch of targets that do get affected by that. Second ability that we got is Condemn. Condemn, I will activate it right there. Basically, there's a circle around me, and what happens is that apparently I will almost go down. I will go down against the bot. Oh god, that's not good. But basically, everyone that is in the middle of that circle, or in that circle rather, will actually get pulled to the middle of the circle, where obviously I can use that in combination, for example, with my first ability known by the name of Punish. So yeah, there's some cool combinations that you can do right there, and obviously the majority of its use is that you pull enemies towards you and slow them down with either Punish, or that you can actually make them, you know, miss their next basic attacks by Shield Glare. And Shield Glare is pretty important to note as well. Basically what happens is this big ass arc, and all the enemies affected by it will miss their next basic attacks. And you don't really see it, but you can see right there, there's a little text that pops up, but the animation isn't any different. So while enemies are actually missing some of their basic attacks, it mainly means that, you know, you're gonna have to pay very close attention if a Johanna is affecting this to you. So as far as the talents go, let's just actually reset the level and actually level myself up all the way to level 20. I wish there was an easy way to do that, but we just need to click this button a bunch of times. Now, like I mentioned, there is different ways to make this work, okay? So I'm gonna be focusing mainly on something that I think is relatively easy to play and that will be pretty competitive as well. Although obviously this is just really, you know, a discussion before, you know, any competitive games have been played using Johanna. So very first talent that we're gonna be picking, and by the way, the focus of this is to be as tanky as we possibly can to shield as much damage from our allies. The first talent that we're going to be picking is going to be Reinforce. Now, Reinforce basically reduces the next basic attacks against me by 50%, and this can stack up. So as long as I am attacking, the basic attacks that will be happening towards me will be less damage. Now, there's a couple of different options here as well. We can go Knight of the, or Knight takes Pawn. Condemn deals 480 damage, so this is for an increased damage that we can do with the second ability that we got. We got Righteous Smash, which is basically allowing my Punish ability to return mana to me. And then we got Regeneration Master, which is going to allow me to get a higher health regen. Now, I'm assuming that Reinforce is going to be the greatest one. However, if you notice that you are running out of mana, go for Righteous Smash. And if you notice you're running out of health very quickly, go for Regeneration Master instead. But I think Reinforce, pretty powerful ability, and I don't really see why you wouldn't be taking it. At least in most situations, because it just straight up reduces the damage by a lot, as long as you're actually fighting. At level 4, a couple of different options. We have Amplified Healing. This increases the damage to yourself, or the healing to yourself when other people heal you. And obviously it works very well in combination with Regeneration Master. We get Roar, increases the damage of Punish by 50%. This does not actually stack up together with Righteous Smash, because this is simply just you know, mana or a mana return per enemy hit, so it doesn't actually affect each other. We got Eternal Retaliation. Condemn cooldown reduces or reduced per enemy hit, so you can activate this, make the cooldown of Condemn significantly lower, and you can actually use this in combination with some later talents as well that give you some increased movement speed. But I think in most situations you want to go with Law of Hope. 60-second cooldown, you will regenerate more health per second and activate to heal 20% of your max health over 4 seconds. And I think this is also the main reason why we don't pick a Regeneration Master over here. I think this will give us plenty of health the longer the game goes on. So basically it's an activated ability right here, but most importantly it obviously, you know, returns health to us and gives us health regen. At level 7 we have a couple of different options. Battle Momentum obviously reduces the cooldown per basic attack that you do. We get Sins Exposed. Shield Glare makes enemies take bonus damage, so that's your E ability. Basically this will allow you to, you know, be more useful in actual team fights. You can also go for the Crusade Marches On, however. Abilities reduce the cooldown of Iron Skin. So basic and heroic abilities lower the cooldown of Iron Skin by 1.5 seconds. And Iron Skin is obviously going to be this guy right here, which is very, very useful. And I think this may be one of the go-to one. And then we get Conviction. Condemn increases movement speed by 25%. And you can actually get a significant movement speed with some of the other talents that we'll see in a second as well. But I'm thinking the Crusade Marches On will be very useful just to activate that Iron Skin more often and therefore stay in combat for longer. Level 10, we have a couple of different options. We got Falling Sword. Now, I'll actually display both of them. Falling Sword is very powerful if I toggle the minions. Basically, it is sort of like ETC's ult, but with less range. So basically what happens, you jump up in the air and you will come down at some later point. But very important is to note that when you land, people actually get stunned and you actually can steer it in the meantime. And it does a big amount of damage as well. So while it isn't quite like the... or actually, wow, I actually accidentally reset the level right there. But while it isn't quite as powerful as ETC's ult, where you can do some split pushing and whatnot, it does have its different uses as well. And obviously it allows you to be in the middle of combat, you know, as soon as you are necessary, you know, at that point. But I think the second heroic is going to be a little bit stronger in most situations if used correctly. So I'm going to be going with Reinforced right here, Laws of Hope right here. The Crusade Marches On, and then we're gonna go for the Blessed Shield. Now, Blessed Shield is actually a skill shot. Basically what happens, over here there's obviously only one hero to actually showcase it with, but I can activate it, and basically it bounces in between the enemies that are available right there. And it stuns them, and it deals a pretty big amount of damage, and I'm thinking this is gonna be great to basically interrupt enemies and make sure that their heroics and whatnot are not going off. Now, the damage on it is quite significant as well. You just need to make sure that you hit it. I'll show you right here. If I clear the cooldown and I like... Well, I actually meant to miss right there. If I miss it completely, you know, basically my heroic is wasted, and a full 60 seconds, it will be on cooldown. At level 13, couple different options. Once again, we have the choice to actually get extra damage done, which would be Burning Rage. Pretty powerful as well, I would assume. We got Hold Your Ground, increases Iron Skin shield by 20%, and this is an important one. If the shield is destroyed by damage, the cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds. So in combination with the Crusade Marches On, obviously Hold Your Ground is basically going to delay the cooldown of Iron Skin significantly, and I'm assuming this is going to be your go-to pick. Then we get Subdue, increases the slow duration from 60 to 80% and the decay from 2 to 3 seconds, and Spell Shield. Now I'm thinking Hold Your Ground likely going to be the normal option. So if I toggle the minions off real quick and actually walk towards the towers right here and activate the Iron Skin, you'll see what happens. So basically activate it right now. They will be able to break it, hopefully. Well, actually, I'm already tanking so much damage. But there you can see, the cooldown is going to be reduced a little bit. Or at least I believe it got triggered right there. At level 16, couple different options once more. We got Holy Renewal. Shield Glare heals for each enemy hit. So that's my E ability. I will be able to heal myself up with that. But I'm thinking if the Laws of Hope is working as I assume it will, it should be plenty. And I think if you're looking for healing, you're probably better off with Regeneration Master. And maybe even with Amplified Healing right here. But I'm thinking Holy Renewal, not really that necessary. We get Fanaticism. Iron Skin causes damage taken to increase movement speed. And this is actually pretty cool because it stacks up to 40%. So, yeah, obviously we also have Imposing Presence, which may actually be the very best pick right here, but this one is just so fun. And we get Blessed Hammer. Condemn creates a spinning hammer, which is obviously only going to be available for about a second. But I will activate Fanaticism right here, even though Imposing Presence may be the best choice. We're going to go for Fanaticism, and I want to show you the increased movement speed. So, as soon as I activate it, basically, I will start taking extra movement speed up to 40%, and that's a crazy amount of extra movement speed, and it will allow you, obviously, to position yourself a little bit differently and chase up you know, chase after people using Condemn. Level 20, couple different options. Heaven's Fury will allow you to deal more damage and obviously reduce the cooldown, or, you know, deal more damage, but also reduce the cooldown on it. We get Radiating Faith, increases the shield range, so the Blessed Shield range by a whole bunch. But most importantly, we got Indestructible, and Storm Shield you obviously are already aware, giving a shield to allies. But Indestructible is enormously powerful. Basically what happens is, upon taking fatal damage, you will gain a shield equal to your maximum health for 5 seconds, and his ability has a 120-second cooldown. It basically gives you a lot of time to get out of trouble. So let me just try and show you right here. I'll toggle the minions and refresh the forts as well. It's a passive ability that is sitting on my health bar right here. And as soon as I take fatal damage, which is gonna hopefully be sure of very soon, you will see how massive the shield is. And while it only is for a limited amount of time, my god, I take so much damage. I tank so much damage, and this is without any abilities, but almost gonna die. At which point you will see an enormous shield happening very shortly. Come on now, guys, kill me. Malfurion, don't heal me, dude. Oh my god. We'll just refresh the fort. There we go. That's probably easier. So very shortly, hopefully I will finally go down. Towers are just shooting away at me, and I'm really not taking any damage here whatsoever. But you will see that the shield that gets activated on me is enormous. So here we go. Look at that. That is a crazy big shield, and it gives me a lot of time to get out of trouble. And obviously in combination with the Iron Skin and then the increased movement speed, I'm thinking you will literally not ever die. Or Johanna, if played correctly. Hopefully my assumptions are correct. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want to see gameplay, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, because I will be uploading that very shortly. And I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!